Well, Edwin, lovely to see you again, and welcome to South Africa.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Let's go back to the very start of what is a quite extraordinary career. When was it that you started to think, you know what, I'm actually quite good at this athletic stuff?
On March 27th, I think in '76, that was when I ran my first race in 400 hurdles. I ran 50.1. My time in the high hurdles previous was about 14.3 or 4. And I went down to like a 13.7, and 400 flat, I was at a 47.5, and I went to a 46.1, and that was from the end of one season to the beginning of the next. So that let me know that I was in range, in the world-class range in all three of those events, and with the 400 hurdles, that's the one I picked.
And that led into what's, I think, still the most remarkable streak in the history of just about sport, let alone athletics. Am I right in saying it was 107 races unbeaten?
107 finals, 122 total races.
I remember having a wonderful conversation with you about life in New York, and you spent some time at one of the most iconic places in modern cultural history. You were a regular guest at a little club called 54.
I used to go there back when I was younger, long time ago. I don't even remember. I was probably 19 or 20, and my cousin and I used to go around town during those days. It was the disco days, and we used to go to a lot of different clubs in New York and Brooklyn, Harlem.
And that's become a huge part of who you are now and what you do, and it's clearly something that strikes a very strong chord with you. 2000, Laureus Sport for Good Foundation began. You were the very first chairman. When that started, you said you knew what the vision was. Did you think it would become as big and as successful as it has?
Actually, we were talking about that at the trustees meeting in London last week. I don't think anyone thought we had a vision. We knew that we were going to use sport as a tool for social change, based on the very famous words from Nelson Mandela that he spoke at our first event. But we started off with 2 donations of $500,000 for Mercedes and the Richemont Company. And to date, we've given away, I think the number is like €100 million, $130 million, affected 2-3 million kids. Went from 6 projects in 4 countries to the number changes all the time, and I think it's like 135 or so projects in 35 or 40 different countries. And I think we employ about 30 or 40 people. So it's gone from really just a concept and a vision to something that's really a tangible and a healthy foundation. It really is.
You've travelled all over the world, you've visited so many projects. Give an example of one project that really sticks in the mind, that showcases just how sport does have that immense power for good.
I still remember the project, and I don't remember the exact name, but it was here in South Africa during the World Cup. We took a bunch of the kids from, I think it was an orphanage where a lot of their parents had died from AIDS, so they were homeless. And we took about 125 of them to a exhibition match. I think it was, Bafana versus the England team. And Wayne Rooney, David Beckham, all those guys were out there. And for them, it was like being at the World Cup final.
Final one for you, Edwin. We live in South Africa at the moment that faces many challenges, as I think most countries around the world, most societies do. You've seen better than most what sport can do to address those sorts of challenges. What's your message, both from Laureus and from personal perspective, about how we can use sport to continue to make a difference and to make things better?
Well, I think there's challenges in a lot of parts of the world. You know, we've seen what happened in England with Brexit. I know that people are challenged here and in other countries in Europe. We're challenged in the United States with going to be with our new president, but when it comes to philanthropy and doing good for kids and doing the right thing for people who are unable to do for themselves, no matter who is in charge and no matter what the world looks like, there's still plenty of energy, plenty of people out there to continue to do what we do, and continue to keep the pressure on those that have to help those who don't have.
I think you're a shining example of putting that into practice. So thank you, Edwin. Thank you for everything you do for Laureus and for sport, and thanks for coming to South Africa, and keep coming back. We love having you.
I will. Thank you.